Hi friends, welcome to the study of the next plains after the Punjab plains, that is the Rajasthan plains. Now as I told you, what are important from the prelims point of view and from the exam point of view regarding the plains is Punjab Haryana plains and the Rajasthan plains region, and to some extent the Brahmaputra plain region. Because anyways we are going to study Ganga in detail in the drainage system, so the questions are not being asked from the plains. Now, how is this Rajasthan plains? You can see this is the border of India and this country here is the Pakistan region. So, on the western extreme of India lies the Rajasthan plain. Now, when we say Rajasthan, the first idea which comes into the mind is the desert. Is it true that the entire Rajasthan is a desert, or does the Rajasthan have some other parts? The entire Rajasthan is not a desert region. The western part of the Rajasthan plain is a desert, while the eastern part is semi-arid. So where does the desert lie? The Thar desert, as you can see, it lies on the western part of the plains of Rajasthan. Sometimes it extends into Pakistan. Some of the desert extends into Gujarat, some of the desert into Haryana, and some of the desert into Punjab region. So the western part of the Rajasthan plains is desert, while the eastern part is semi-arid region. What is the name of the desert? The name of the desert is the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. It is the 17th largest desert in the world, which you don't have to remember from the exam point of view, that is the ranking. But yes, it is one of the biggest deserts in the world. It forms a boundary between India and Pakistan, where the major part of the desert lies in India. And even in India, the major part of the desert, that is the 2/3 of the desert, lies in the state of Rajasthan. But what is more important, you have to remember, the remaining desert also lies in the state of Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. So the desert, the Thar desert, does not just lie only in the state of Rajasthan, it also lies in the state of Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. So if the question comes in the preliminary examination whether this statement is true or false, that the Thar desert lies only in Rajasthan, if the word is only, the statement is false. But if the statement is the Thar desert lies in Rajasthan, then the statement is true. Lies in Rajasthan, it is not saying only. Lies in Rajasthan, yes, majority of the Thar desert lies in Rajasthan, while the remaining lies in Punjab, Haryana and Gujarat. Now, the desert, proper desert, which is on the western part, it is known locally by the name Marusthali. So, Marusthali means desert. This is the point you have to remember from the prelims point of view or from the exam point of view. What is the name of, local name of a desert in Rajasthan? So, it is known as Marusthali. Some Marusthali is sandy, some is rocky. The sandy Marusthali, obviously sandy means there will be sand dunes in the Marusthali, in the Thar desert. So the sand dunes migrate, they shift, resulting into desertification. So the shifting sand dunes are known as Dhriyan. So the shifting sand dunes in the Marusthali, it is covered by shifting sand dunes which are locally known as Dhriyan. So what are the points we have studied here? The western part is desert. It lies in the Indo-Pakistan border, majorly in the states of Rajasthan. Some of them it extends into Pakistan, some into Gujarat, some into Punjab, Haryana. The desert proper is known as Marusthali, and it is covered by shifting sand dunes which are known as Dhriyan. The shifting sand dunes are known as Dhriyan. Now, the eastern part, that is this part, the eastern part of the Rajasthan plains, this part is known as a Rajasthan Bagar region. It is known as an Rajasthan Bagar region. The eastern part, which is semi-arid, I am again writing it, which is semi-arid. It is known as an Rajasthan Bagar. Again, not that important from the exam point of view, but Just if you want to remember, you remember the eastern part is known as Rajasthan Bagar. Now, this Rajasthan Bagar has two important characteristics. First important characteristics is Rajasthan region, the entire Rajasthan state is a region of inland drainage system. What do you mean by inland drainage system? That means there are numerous of rivers which originate in the state of Rajasthan. If I am drawing the state of Rajasthan, this is the Aravalli ranges. There are numerous rivers which originate in the Rajasthan, and these rivers, if they originate in the Rajasthan, they flow through the entire Rajasthan and they go and end into the marshy land of run of the Kutch region, or they go and end into the, or they go and end on the land itself. They do not go and meet the Arabian Sea. This is from where the Arabian Sea is. So you can see these rivers are going and ending in the middle of a land. So this is a region of an inland drainage system. This is a region of inland drainage system. Now, in this region of inland drainage, in the region of deserts, obviously, so the first thing you should remember, it is a region of inland drainage system. It is a region of an inland drainage system. Now, in this inland drainage system, the most important river here of the Rajasthan is river Luni. Is the river Luni. The most important river is river Luni, which originates in the Aravalli and goes and drains into the marshy land and does not meet the Arabian Sea region. So this is the river Luni. The other important rivers here are river Banas and river Saraswati. River Luni, river Banas and river Saraswati. So these are the these are the inland rivers in the Rajasthan. These are the inland rivers in the Rajasthan region. River Luni, river Banas and river Saraswati. Now in this desert region, is agriculture possible? Yes, it will be possible because the soil is fertile. What is the limiting factor in the desert, or what is the lacking factor in the desert is water or moisture. So the agriculture will be possible wherever the moisture will be available or wherever the water will be available. We can give water through irrigation system. We have the Indira Canal project, which we will be doing later on in the command area development, and we have some of this regions jahan se the rivers are flowing. So in the surrounding regions, in the track or in this regions where the rivers are flowing, agriculture is possible. And obviously this region here jahan pe the rivers are flowing in the surrounding regions, in the surrounding regions, obviously these are the fertile tracts. Now therefore the agriculture is possible in this region. This fertile tracts where the agriculture is possible is known as Rohi. Fertile tracts where agriculture is possible is known as Rohi. So this is one more local word which you have to remember. What is a Rohi? A fertile tract in the desert region which is drained by the seasonal rivers where the agriculture is possible is known as Rohi. So what is the three things? The rivers are inland, that is they do not meet the sea. The inland rivers are Luni, Banas and Saraswati. In the previous lecture, we did the inland rivers. One inland river, that is river Ghaggar, which flows through Rajasthan. I will discuss at the end of this lecture how the question can be answered or how the question can be asked. What is this line? This line is the Aravalis. The next important characteristics of the Rajasthan region is presence of numerous lakes, numerous lakes in Rajasthan, which obviously because of high amount of evaporation and less amount of rainfall are saline lakes. So the next, thus are the new presence of numerous saline lakes, out of which the Sambar lake near Jaipur is the biggest saline lake in the India itself, in India, which is the biggest saline lake. So Lake Sambar is the biggest saline lake. So the next point you have to remember from the exam point of view. So the next point which you have to remember from the exam point of view, that is in the Rajasthan region, there are the presence of numerous saline lakes. And this is a region of inland drainage. Then next point, there is a presence of numerous saline lakes. There are numerous saline lakes. In Rajasthan plain region. Out of which Sambar lake, out of which the Sambar lake, near which city? Jaipur, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer or Bikaner? Near Jaipur, out of which Sambar lake is biggest and most important. It is biggest and most important. Near which city? Near Jaipur. It is near Jaipur. It is near Jaipur. How biggest it is? It is the example of the biggest inland saline wetland system in India. What is a lake? Lake is a dry land or a wetland. What do you mean by wetland? Any body of or reservoir of water, natural or man-made, can be classified as an wetland. Look at your environment ecology lectures. Look at the wetland and Utska related convention, that is the Ramsar Convention. So Sambar Lake is the biggest saline lake in India, and it is the biggest saline inland wetland in India. In India. It is the biggest saline inland wetland in India. So these are the important parts you should remember about the Rajasthan plain. First, the western part is desert, the eastern part is semi-arid, it is known as Rajasthan Bagar. Now I have written the points of the desert. It is known as Great Indian or Thar Desert, which lies between India and Pakistan. Majority in India, majorly in the state, 60% or around 60% of it lies in the state of Rajasthan. And the desert, proper desert, is known as Marustali. In Marustali, that is the local name of a Great Indian desert. The proper desert in Marustali, there is a sandy region which is covered by shifting sand dunes. What are sand dunes? Look at your geomorphology class. These shifting sand dunes are locally known as Dhriyan. Then Rajasthan Bagar, it is a semi-arid region. It is a region of inland drainage. Which are the three important rivers? The most important inland drainage here is river Luni. While the other rivers, the most important is river Luni, while the other rivers here are river Banas and river Saraswati. river Banas and river Saraswati. Now, one thing you remember about the river Banas. There are two river Banas in India. How many river Banas are there in India? Two river Banas. One is a inland river, that means it is not going and meeting the sea, while other river Banas is there, and it also drains Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan region, and that river Banas is a tributary of river Chambal. Chambal is a tributary of river Yamuna, and Yamuna is a tributary of river Ganga. So in the end, the other river Banas, that is the bigger river Banas, is not an example of an inland drainage. So you remember there are two river Banas. One is inland and the other goes and meets the sea while becoming a part of Ganga river system. Which river are we referring here? River Banas is inland river here. Okay, so it is a region of inland drainage. Now, in this inland drainage system where water is a limiting factor, but in the areas where water is available, agriculture is possible, and obviously that region becomes fertile, and such a fertile tract is known as Rohi. Now, this is the region of numerous saline lakes, which are inland lakes, that is, they are not near the sea, and out of which Sambar Lake is the biggest saline inland wetland system in India. Why they are saline lakes? Why not freshwater lakes? Because of logic, that is, more evaporation and less rainfall. Now, Sambar Lake is near which city? It is located near the city of Jaipur. One more thing, one more homework I am giving you. In this region, near the city of Jodhpur in the Rajasthan Plains, near the city of Jodhpur, there is an important institute. It is known as Central Arid Zone Research Institute, or it is known as CASRI, Central Arid Zone Research Institute. Now find out what are the important functions of CASRI. For example, one important function is sand dunes stabilization. One important function is sustainable agriculture in arid and semi-arid regions. One important function is helping the farmers. So find out about CASRI from the India yearbook or from the internet, or you can wait for my lectures till we do the important agriculture related institutes in India. So the CASRI is an important research institute in the city of Jodhpur. What is the full form of CASRI? It is the Central Arid Zone Research Institute. So these are the important parts of the Rajasthan Plain. Now I will discuss some of the questions with you. The first important question is, which of the following are inland rivers in India? Are inland rivers in India? One is river Ghaggar, B is river Saraswati, C is river Luni, D is river Banas. Options I am giving you. One option is A, B, C. Second option is A, C, D. Third option is A and C only. And the fourth option is all of the above. All of the above. So which are the inland rivers in India? All of the above are the inland rivers. Ghaggar in which state? In the Haryana region. Majorly a river of Haryana. Saraswati, Luni and Banas are majorly the rivers of Rajasthan. Which is the biggest? Is the river Luni. Is the biggest. Why inland? Because they do not meet the sea. Where do they drain? They drain into the run of Kutch region. The second question which I want to ask you, which state in India, which state in India has largest saline inland saline wetland? And the options which will be given to you can be Gujarat, can be Madhya Pradesh, can be Rajasthan, or can be any state such as Punjab. Now what they have asked you? Largest inland saline wetland, or they can substitute the word wetland with largest inland saline lake. So the answer is Rajasthan. Why the answer is Rajasthan? Because Lake Sambar is an example of the largest inland saline wetland in India. Students generally make mistake. They mark Gujarat as an state which is having largest inland saline wetland because they think that it is the run of Kutch region or the Gulf of, it is the run region. No, the answer is not run. It is asking largest saline inland wetland, not an area. Largest saline inland wetland, that means lake, and hence the answer is Rajasthan. So these are the two important questions. The other important questions are, what do you mean by Marustali? So what is a Marustali? Marustali is desert. In Rajasthan, in the Rajasthani, locally it is known as Marustali. Which part of Rajasthan? Western, eastern? It is western part of Rajasthan. The other important question which can be asked is that whether the entire Rajasthan is a desert, yes or no? No, the entire Rajasthan is not a desert, only the western part is a desert. So keep revising the lecture, try understanding the concepts and solve the past year questions so that you will be ready for the future questions which will be asked by UPSC. Till the time we meet again, thank you very much.